Part 3 of the Bastervoetpad Pass covers the upper portion of the descent from the 9th to the 11th kilometer, including 2 of the 3 180-degree switchbacks. This section of the pass is susceptible to rockfalls, so proceed with caution, and doubly so during wet weather. Looking back at the history of this region, on the 24th of March 1593, the Portuguese ship São Alberto, on its way from Cochin, East India, to Lisbon, was wrecked on the east coast of South Africa on the rocks near the mouth of the Mbashi River. The captain of the ship, Nuno Pereira, the pilot, Rodrigo Miguis, 125 Portuguese men and women, and 160 slaves survived the accident. The next day they decided to walk to Lorenzo Marques in Mozambique, where there was a Portuguese settlement. 2 Portuguese priests, one carrying a wooden cross, led this company. After 121 days of hardship and difficulty, 150 Portuguese and just 65 slaves reached Maputo. The route followed by the survivors passed a few miles south of the present-day Maclear. According to all historical records, they were the first Europeans to ever enter the area. A portrayal of this procession was painted by the San in a cave on the farm Ben Strachen in the present-day Maclear district. During 1895, this and adjoining farms were cut off from Maclear and incorporated into the Tsolo district. It's not known if the painting is today still visible or accessible. Sir Thomas Maclear, the King of England's astronomer at the Cape Colony, whilst remeasuring and extending the arc of the meridian, arrived at Maclear during November 1843 at the Nkwankwaru River. Around about the same time, the Dutch-speaking frontier farmers of the Cape Colony were dissatisfied with the way they were treated by the British government, and they sent an expedition to the present-day KwaZulu-Natal to investigate the possibility of leaving the Cape Colony and to settle there. On the 14th of January 1834, a party under the leadership of Piet Uys left Grahamstown in 14 ox wagons. On the 30th of January they passed the Gatberg near Maclear and spent the night of the 31st of January at this place. Uys named the river the Mooirivier, and up to date it's been known by that name. A member of the San painted one of these ox wagons under an overhanging rock on the farm Craigmore. With the permission of Mondi Paper Company, this spot can still be visited. The first white man to settle in the present-day Maclear was the medical doctor and missionary Reverend William Murray. He was born in 1837 in Scotland, and he was the son of John and Isabella Murray, and John was a shoemaker and farmer who rented a small plot on the banks of the Ugi River. With the assistance of the London Missionary Society, he was sent to the Cape Colony to do mission work under the Griqua people. At this point along the descent, at the 11-kilometer mark, the road passes close to a very small farmstead. Young children will come bounding down the hillside looking for food or something sweet, which they rarely get access to. This is the highest farm in the pass at an altitude of 1,978 meters. Keep a watchful eye out for livestock, and there are also free-roaming horses here. For the next 1.5 kilometers, the road remains fairly level as it follows the 1,970-meter contour line, negotiating 6 gullies that converge lower down the mountainside to form one of the many streams that flow eastwards towards the coast. If you find yourself here during heavy rain, please exercise extreme caution, as these innocuous little streams can quickly turn into raging torrents with powerful currents. Be sensible and turn back if things look unsafe here, as it gets even worse further on. If the weather is good, one of these gullies makes a great spot for a picnic lunch, as there's always good shade, fresh mountain water, and level places to park. At this point you're just past the halfway mark of the pass, but don't get lulled into thinking that the fairly easy section that you've just completed is going to remain this way. Ahead of you lies the toughest part of the pass by a considerable margin, so it's a good idea to take a break here before tackling the steepest and roughest part of the descent. You can now consider the extent of the deterioration of this magnificent pass, in that only 30 years ago there are records of many small sedan vehicles having traversed this. If you intend driving this pass, it's important to watch all 6 videos in this series.